Hello, happy Sunday. I've got a bit of Little Mermaid on today. It's the 8th Sunday show. Welcome. Hello. Woo. See if I can put it up any higher. Oh yeah. Woo, woo. How are you doing? Are you okay? Have you had a good week? I've had a brilliant week. I've been on holiday. Woo! So, I thought I would kick off actually with a bit of Little Mermaid, a little bit of Disney to get you going. Hi everyone who's watching. It's been a great week. I've had a lovely time away and I feel really refreshed. And now I'm here. It is the 8th Sunday show. And if you... Ooh. Does it just make you want to do this? I'm going to press pause. I can't press pause. I can press pause. There you go. Sorry. I know we were all enjoying that one. My name is Michelle Thole. Welcome to the Sunday show. I am a coach for performers. I'm a performance coach. So let's kind of switch it around and say performance coach. So if you are a performer out there and you need to work on your confidence, your resilience, your motivation, I'm the girl for you. However, this episode we're going to be talking about the 3 social media fails that most performers make on their social media profiles. It drives me crazy, so I thought I would actually give you a little insight into those 3 things and to change them. The other thing I'm going to talk about is Harvey Weinstein and everything that's going on with him and all this sexual assault allegations, how I feel about it, how like the social media and society has dealt with this issue. So I want to go into a bit of detail about that, and also then I'll be going through 3 kick-ass actions that you can take this week that is going to absolutely change your performing career and move you into a direction. So there's that motivation that I was talking about earlier, to get you into that motivational stage. So oh yeah, I hope you can hear this because I'm loving life right now. A little bit of Little Mermaid going on. This actually isn't my favourite Little Mermaid song, but anyway, I'm going to digress if I carry on about Little Mermaid. I'm just popping my notes in there so I don't forget anything. Guys, I'm going to go straight in with the first section, which is... Actually, are you liking my 90s headband? I thought I'd bring that back into fashion. Whether that'll ever happen, who knows. But, you know, shell suits are back in. So, well, I did see one in a store the other day, and I was mega, like, oh my god, mortified. I was absolutely mortified. All we need now is for them to bring back those, do you know those poppers? The Diadora or the Adidas ones. Absolutely gross. My sister had a pair, my husband had a pair, like they were rocking it. I never did, I just thought they were the most disgusting things ever. But anyway, again, like, digress, let's move on. So, let's go straight into the first section, which is the social media fails. Now, there are 3 big ones, 3 huge ones that make such a massive difference. What is social media? Social media is about being social. Is a platform for people to come to you to know either your brand, your business, or you personally. So when you have a performing platform, say you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, even Snapchat, any of the big social medias, even a YouTube channel, they are your window into your world. And so when people come to your site, they come to your profile, they do not want to be bombarded with a million different things all about you. So let me explain. So what I've done is, as usual, I'm going to do a little da-da! So here I am. Bear with me a second. I'm going to move me so you can see. There we are. So, if you can see, the first one is automated messages. Now, I don't know whether you know much about automated messages. Maybe you do. But when... For instance, let's take Twitter as an example. So you've just logged on, you've just liked, followed somebody on Twitter. Then, straight away, because the computer goes, oh, right, okay, so somebody has followed you. If that person has set up automated messages, you will get an automated message because you followed that person. And then that person can say whatever they want. Like, oh, hi, you know, thanks for following me. Here's my single. Here's my show reel. Here's my headshot. What do you think? Let me know. And you will get this constantly. Like my clients are performers, so I like lots of performers who are clients on my Twitter, especially my Twitter. I've got over 700 people following me on Twitter at the moment, and the amount of automated messages I get is unbelievable. They do not work. The reason they do not work is because they're not personalised. Somebody going onto your Twitter, I'm going to use Twitter as an example because this is where I've had the most. Because you can also set them up on a page that you have on your Facebook. An automated message. So for instance, let's pick a random name, Joe Blogs. So Joe Blogs has a performing profile on Twitter. I go and follow Joe Blogs, and then as soon as I press follow, I then get a message in my inbox saying, "Hi, thanks so much for following me. If you like my stuff, why not go to this, have a look at my Vimeo page, or have a look at my YouTube, or have a look at my..." And I was just like, mate, I've literally just pressed follow. Let me breathe. Why are you telling me every single repertoire, giving me your CV? It doesn't work. It doesn't work because, number one, I don't feel special because I know every single person is getting that email, that automated message. But also as well, that the people who send them are just trying to sell me something. They're trying to sell themselves as a service, where that's not what social media is for. Social media is about giving and sharing, which is the second part, which I'll go into in a second. It isn't about taking. And if it's your first kind of interaction with somebody and they give you an automated message straight off the bat, that's like, do you know what? I don't care about a relationship with you. I just want to know whether you're going to buy my stuff. It's just not the right relationship. That is not the right thing to do. It's a kind of social media and your relationship with your followers or your, the people who like your page. It's a relationship built on trust. It isn't a relationship that, oh, Jill, because you've done this, then I can do this. It's not the way it works. So I would say not to give an automated message at all, and to send every single person who follows you an individual personalised message, just to strike a conversation. I've done this numerous times and have honestly made so many connections with great people, because it isn't about what can I get out of this, it's also what can I give. There was I've been involved with lots of charities doing work. I've helped out people, given coaching, and it's, I always say, if you need anything, just message me, just let me know. And the amount of people that don't actually do that, I do get people, but I don't get as many people as I think should, especially from the numbers that I know watch this show and read my stuff on Twitter and read my blog and go onto my website. You're not asking for help. So it's that thing of, actually, just send me a PM and we'll just go from that point on. But if you send me an automated message, that's a completely different thing. You haven't taken any time out, and it's not personalised, and I don't feel special. So, and that's not me, that made me feel like, oh my god, I want to feel special. You know what I mean. Say, oh hey Paul, hi. So, the second one is I've seen this lots with performers, that I'm in lots of performing groups, and it's when you're in an online group, you've joined the group, and the first thing you do is you share your show reel and you say, can you have a look at this and let me know what you think? Actually, you've just joined a community of people who are all in the same position as you, and it would be lovely if you could just introduce yourself, say, I'm like, not even in a like, oh my god, like I'm so, like, so fantastic to be in this group. It needs to come from a really centered, honest place, and it's also about you sharing what you know and the people that you know, and also some of the people in these groups that you're joining, they could also be people that you work with in the future. So they're great tools for networking. We're in the 21st century now. You don't have to knock on, you don't have to get up at 6 in the morning and go to a networking event to find people for your next play, or find a script writer, or even, when you're songwriting. This is like the 21st century, obviously. So use the 21st century technology we have to actually benefit you. Everyone is watching. Hi, thanks so much for joining. And come say hi down below. Like, share, do your thing. So when you're joining an online group, be active in it before you ask for something. And asking for something would be like asking their opinion of something, asking to check you out on here or like you here, or to give you feedback or advice or tips or anything like that. Give first. Always give first. Hey Richard, how are you? Always give first in these groups, you know. It's about being contributing as much as possible. So if somebody's having a hard time, help them, you know. And then after a week or so, then you can ask. You know, don't go all in guns blazing. And so let's go to number 3 of the top 3 social media fails to avoid as a performer, and this is overindulgent self-promotion. So again, social media is social, so people who are on there want to know about you, they want to know what you're doing, but they also want to know what you're interested in. They don't want every single post you put on there, oh my god, I've got this show reel, look at it, oh my god, what do you think of these headshots, oh my god, I'm going to be doing this film, I can't even think, I'm working with this person, that person, that person. It's not, there's nothing there to interact with. So for instance, with a show reel, it's like, okay, I'll watch a show reel, but then if you then put the show reel up another week or so, if for somebody who hasn't looked at this show reel, look at it again. Well, what if you've already looked at the show reel before? You have to think of content that you're putting in your social media is gonna benefit the people that see it, because what if it's a casting director that looks at that? You know, you are the face of your business, so you have to be continually putting out content that is relevant, not only for what you think is this shameless kind of self-promotion, which obviously kind of goes into the whole of those other 2 points, which is the automated messages, and also showing up in online groups but only for yourself and not actually giving any advice or any help as well. So stop with the self-promotion constantly. You know, I look on Instagram and I know that there's loads of statistics when it comes to Instagram. Most of the statistics say that you shouldn't be putting pictures of yourself or talking about yourself all the time. Let's use Instagram as an example. Every 4th to 5th Instagram pic, this is on average obviously, there's an exception to every rule, however, every 4th to 5th picture you put on Instagram should be one of you, and the other should be something else that might be of interest to the person looking at your profile, not what you think is of interest to you. And that's the difference when you're talking about business social media profile as opposed to your personal profile. Your personal profile, you go to town with it, you put whatever you want on there, but with the business profile, it needs to, hi Joe, with the business profile, it needs to have what the person who's looking at that profile wants to see, rather than what you want to portray about yourself. So, I understand it probably in your head you're thinking, but what about branding? What about this? What about that? It all flows naturally. You just have to just go with it. And I will put a link to a great friend of mine, Michelle Purse, who is just the most amazing marketer. She's got a free Facebook planner, and you can actually take this 30-day planner. It's a content planner basically, where you can just pick and choose what you want to do. So it gives you ideas of what to post on your I can't say it, your social media accounts. There you go. Honestly, it's just amazing, and she's such an amazing person. So what I'll do is I'll put the link down there. I've got no affiliation to Michelle at all. It's just I've used it, and my growth for my Facebook page and also all my social medias went up. Like, I think it was like 300%. So I'm an advocate for this, and I think she does great work. So like I say, I'll pop her link down below. It's My Outsourced Marketing is her Facebook page, but like I say, I'll put a link below anyway. So let's move on. We are moving on to cuteness of the week, and you know what, let me just get it up for you, because cuteness of the week this week made me cry. And do you know why it made me cry? Because let me tell you a little story. My friend Liz, she has just bought a house and she's always wanted a dog, and she actually she's rehomed a dog that needs a home, and it was this amazing dog called Molly. So I'm going to put it up and I'll talk to you a little bit about Molly. Molly is 8 years old. Oh my god, look at Molly. She is 8 years old, and she wasn't her previous owner's son had a allergy, so they had to give her up, and she's 8, so she's been with that family for all this time, and she'd been waiting to be rehomed, and Liz turned up and she just knew that she was the one, and she's taken her home, and this was actually in the car on the way home, and look how amazing her little face is. I think, you know, I'm such an advocate for rehoming animals, and as this amazing story goes, Molly is so happy. She's just fitted in so nicely with Liz and her family, and it just warms my heart to see little Molly. And so I implore you, if you are to buy a pet, try and rehome one rather than to buy one from a pet store, because look at little Molly's happy face, and she just melted my heart this week, so I thought I'd share her, and she is Cuteness of the week. So there you go. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the sexual kind of, I never really get these right, so I'm gonna say the sexual abuse and harassment allegations of Harvey Weinstein in the industry. Now, first of all, this is personally what I think. I wasn't surprised. Not because it was him, it could have been anyone. I'm not surprised that it's happened. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long for something like this to happen, because it's been going on for such a long time. It's such an it's like underlying, it's like an undercurrent in the industry. You know, I think of friends of mine that have gone in for castings and have had to get naked just because they've got a naked scene and the director wants to see their body, and then tick it off, yes, their body's fine. You know, that to me just feels so degrading. And sometimes does that sex scene in that script actually need to be there? Is it is it integral to the storyline? Is it needed, or is it in there just to sell sex in a movie? I believe that when you have money and you also have this overnight success feeling that powerful men can give beautiful women in this industry, then these powerful men become like Camelot. They become the lottery tickets. And I'm not saying that every single woman who's beautiful and have got success has taken that route, but what I'm saying is, if it's in your hand, it's in your lap, right, okay, so I can either be groped by this guy and get an Oscar, or I'm, given my bus fare home later, nothing's going to happen for me. I know what I would do. I would take the high road. I'm not that type of person, but not everyone has that in them. Not everyone has, especially if you're young and you're in the industry and you think that's just the way it is, and because it's never spoken about, then actually this sexualization of celebrities, not only just in films, there's sex scenes everywhere, not that I'm opposed to any sex scene. Sometimes, it makes sense in certain aspects, but also you see the paparazzi, they're taking up the skirt shots. Like, what is the mentality of, number one, the people taking these pictures, but also, why is it needed? Why do they actually make money from this? It's because they are sexualizing celebrities to a point where they actually become commodities, and they no longer become human. They become things, playthings, that powerful rich people can play with and take advantage of, because their dream is worth more to them than the harassment of and being groped by somebody else. When you have a dream that's so strong in your heart, a purpose that is yours in life, and you know that you just have to get over this one maybe really risque thing, and you'll get everything that you want. And I'm it sounds as if I'm giving reasons why somebody would be victimized, and that's not the case at all. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get into the mindset of what it would take for somebody to kind of not saying allow, that's not the way I'm saying it. What I'm saying is get into the mindset of where they get into these positions where a person like him, a grotesque person like him, would be able to take advantage because his power and his prestige in the industry has been an umbrella for his abuse. You know, it's sheltered and shielded him because he's Harvey Weinstein, and who's gonna, you know, knock him off his perch? Well, actually, a group of women are gonna do that. A group of women who collectively are not gonna take anymore. And it's so admirable that these actresses have spoken out. But what isn't admirable is the fact they need to speak out in the first place. This should never happen. This should never happen at all. And the amount of not just in the top, because obviously Hollywood's a different story, but happens every single day in castings, happens every single day to celebrities just going into a car, happened to Taylor Swift when she was on taking a photo call in front of all these people. She got groped by that DJ, what's his name, David Muller or whatever his name was, right in front of everyone's face, and it was apparently okay. It is not okay. It is not okay whatsoever. And you wouldn't take it if it was in Tesco, you wouldn't take it if it was in Asda. Why should you take it right in front of the world with, you know, people clicking away, taking photos? It's unbelievable the amount of privilege that was given to certain people that they abused. And it should never happen. And like from the bottom of my heart, if this has ever happened to you, and if somebody has taken advantage of their power to try and get you into a role, or to try and get you to, you know, I've had it where I've been in having photos done, and it's like, oh right, okay, so do you want more shots where maybe you're in a bikini, and I've had a friend who's actually like, right, okay, so let's take your bra off now, we'll do some topless shots. And she literally was like, what is going on? I've come here, I've got my clothes, you know, a few changes, that's it. But somehow it kind of escalates, and there's this, do you know that idea of the frog in water, and if you kind of increase the water, the frog doesn't know, and all of a sudden the frog's boiling to death? It's kind of like that. And it's a little bit, and then a little bit, and then a little bit, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're in this horrible situation, and you just need to get the hell out of it. So it's disgusting. I absolutely just, as you can tell, it's from the core of me. It violates every fibre of my being, and I applaud the amount of women that are able to say, this happened to me and it's not okay, because it's the strength of those women that will also, people will kind of gel together, victims, and actually not just women, although this is a certain case here with certain celebrities in Hollywood. It happens to men. It happens all across the world every single day, and it is just not okay. So I just thought I would share my views on the Harvey Weinstein situation, because it is to do with Hollywood, and it is to do with my industry, and I feel sick about it. So I applaud everyone who is able to speak out, but I'm really sorry that you've had to speak out and you've been victimised in that way. And so with that, I'm gonna move on to the next section, which actually is the mantra of the week. So the mantra of the week this week is, I am calm, confident, and ready to do my best. Now, the reason I picked this was because of seeping down into that subconscious when you're actually going into an interview and into an audition, or if you've got like you're in the studio, you're ready to do a take on, you know, you're doing a lead vocal take, and it's, you know, you can feel a heart beating, you're thinking, oh my gosh, is my voice going to crack, all these types of things, you know. Just, there's a mantra: I am calm, I'm confident, and I'm ready to do my best. And if you say that on a consistent basis over the period of maybe 2 to 3 weeks before an audition or a performance or a studio session, that will really start kicking in. And don't just take my word for it. These mantras are to be adapted and to be used. So take it and action it. Action it and come back. Come back and tell me if you know, if you're not seeing any results with it. Honestly, you will see a result with it, because after over all the clients that I've ever worked with, there isn't one person who have said that my mantras have not worked. So I hope this is going to help you, and give it a go. It takes a few weeks for it to kind of seep into the subconscious and for it to then become a belief. But you are calm, you are confident, and you are ready to do your best. Here we go. We're on the last section. It's gone so fast today. We're on the last section, and it's actually 3 kick-ass actions to take this week. Because you know what? Like, having a performing career, being a creative entrepreneur, being a service-based business, it can be really difficult, especially when you're thinking, right, okay, I've looked on Casting Call Pro, I've looked on all the DEP Facebook groups, you know, there's nothing coming up, what can I do? So here are 3 things. Number 1, get a mentor. Now, a mentor could be like a teacher that you had, it could be someone that you really, really admire. Email them, connect with them on Facebook. Oh, there's that community-based thing the social media is so good at. There you go. So that's how you use social media. Get in touch with them, email them, message them, like their stuff, and ask them, would you be able to mentor me? Would you be able to mentor me? I would. It's not going to be like a massive time restraint. I just want to check in with you maybe once or twice a month, just to see how I'm going and whether you think there's other avenues I can take. You know, that's it. As simple as that, as easy as that. Just get going with it. Get a mentor, because somebody who is going to keep you on the straight and narrow but have already been there and done that. Now, I also want to say, get a coach. And because I'm such an advocate for coaching, I have my own coach myself, it's really important that somebody holds you accountable for taking action in your life, because if you're not taking action right now and you're not in the place that you want to be, you need to get help, and there's help out there, so don't do it alone. Okay, so there we go. Number 1, get a mentor / coach. Number 2 is to ask 3 people. There's lots of 3s in this episode 8 of the Sunday Show. Ask 3 people for feedback. Now, okay, so what do I mean by that? You may be stuck in your own little acting, singing, dancing bubble. You, number 1, might not know how far you've come. You're a bit depressed about, like, oh my god, like I'm not going as far as I want to, or even the opposite, maybe I'm really, really good but I'm not getting the auditions, what's wrong? So this is the time to ask 3. You could be brave and ask 5 or 10, it's up to you, but make sure these are people that you really trust and who will tell you the truth, who will not people please with you and will give you the straight up answer to the question of. You could ask them questions such as, what, like if you're an actor, let's take an acting for example. If you're an actor, what type of role would you say I should go for? Also, what types of castings do you think? I'm kind of doing this as if they know about the industry. So if they don't know about the industry, what do you think I should do next in my career? What things do you think I shouldn't do in my career? So you get the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. So ask 3 people for feedback. Also ask them a question of, how can I improve? What do you like about me? What things can I improve on? So these things are going to be, they may be a bit hard to hear. So somebody might say that you're really opinionated, but you love that about yourself, but they've used that as like a negative. But try and take it with a pinch of salt and say they're only doing this to make me better. So sometimes you may not like the feedback, but also the feedback is where you can't see your blind spot. You just can't see it. So asking 3 people who you really trust about your career, but also you as a person and how you could move forward, is a great way to take action this week, because they may hold the key that might take you another year to figure out on your own. So give it a go and let me know how you get on. Number 3 is to be inspired by a role model. Now, this role model could be a celebrity, or it could be somebody who's maybe 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. So if that's the case, and you know this person, find out what they've done. Find out exactly why they've gotten to the place where you haven't gotten to yet. Because obviously it's not because they're the most amazing thing. Okay, talent is, you know, they may know this person or whatever, but actually it's because they've taken action. So what action have they taken that you haven't to get them to that destination? So be inspired by a role model. If you don't have anyone right now that is maybe a couple of steps ahead of you, find a celebrity and read their biography. And preferably somebody who's a lot younger, because if you're reading a biography from like, oh, I started the business in 1960, well, do you know what? They didn't have Facebook in 1960. They didn't have, you know, telephone, you know, the iPhone. They didn't have any of that stuff in the 1960s. So try and get someone who you can emulate and see the paths, see the steps of the path, should I say, and copy. So that is it. Those are 3 kick-ass actions to take this week. Do you know what? Those 3 are really brave steps. They take a lot of courage to do. I'm going to take this off a second. I'll go back to the, there we go. They are actually really brave steps to take, because asking for help from a mentor, you know, asking people where you could improve and what they think is an opinion of you, that's you know, like I say, it's a very courageous thing, but also it could be the very thing that's going to propel you. Oh, I haven't even taken the mantra off. Hang on a second. Sorry, it's been on there for a while. There we go. It's off. Woo! So, and the third thing about role models is, if you want the same thing that somebody else has, you have to do the same thing that that person has done in order to get the same result. So you can't sit there eating McDonald's and want a thin body when that person who's got a thin body is on a vegan diet. It just doesn't work. So find out the celebrity vegan diet, or the person's, you know, 3 steps. I'm kind of using that as a way of kind of explaining in that terms, but you know what I mean. It could be anything, career, it could be relationships. Ask people, how did you get there? Be curious. Use that curiosity of yours and the courage, 2 things that I think make up confidence, and using them on a consistent basis will get you the results that you need. Because you know what? Sometimes you do not need, okay, this is a Michelle truth. A Michelle truth. Sometimes, you ready for this? I gotta take a deep breath. Sometimes you do not need to go to another motherfucking acting class. What you need is to sit down in a quiet room and listen to that inner voice that's telling you it's time to take action. It's time to take action in the direction that I want to go, but even though I'm scared, I'm going to do it. Or it could be that little voice inside saying, I need help. That's where the mentor comes in. The little voice inside, I don't know where to go next. That's when you ask people. You know, the little voice inside says, what are the next steps? That's when you go and look at a role model and emulate their steps. Those 3 things will radically change your acting career, dancing career, singing career. If you're a comedian, if you're a compere, if you own a fashion blog, any creative entrepreneur, if you use those 3 steps, your life can literally change as fast as you get the information back and then implement. Let's get this going. Let's get you to where you want to go. So that's it. That's the Sunday show. Thank you so much for watching episode 8. I had a little bit of a whine about Harvey Weinstein, but it just drives me mental. It absolutely drives me mental that somebody with that amount of power can abuse it so flippantly. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched all the way to the end, thank you. Hi to every single person who this is the first time you've ever met me. Again, like I said earlier, my name is Michelle Thole and I'm a performance coach. And it's my pleasure. I absolutely love doing this. So it's my pleasure to help you in whichever way I can. So feel free to message me. Let me know if there's any topics you'd like to talk about in the Sunday show. And also, if you've got a little cuteness of the week, a little animal that you want me to feature, just send me a picture and I will pop that little darling up on Cuteness of the Week. So mantra is, I am calm, confident and ready to do my best, because you are amazing. So go out there, shine your light bright, because you are always stronger than fear. Happy Sunday everybody, and I will see you next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. Bye.